Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-game show for the game between the Pies and the Lions. That was frustrating. If I can reduce it to a sentence as simple as frustrated. The game felt like when we tried to go at times, we were stopped in our tracks. An error in hand pass here and there, a slight fumble. I just felt like it really felt like Brisbane in that second half in particular really just owned territory. And you know what? Before I go on too much of a tangent, I'll end it at this turned into the kind of game where it just reeked of a finals environment. A lot of stoppages in that second half, and I hate to say, Tom Mitchell would have been handy. So I'll leave it at that, and you guys can tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I feel like there's a lot. Is it doom and gloom? No. I mean, we're still in the top four. We definitely need to win at least another 2 games out of the next 3 to hold top 4. 1 and 3s in our last 4, including this game, is not ideal. I just feel like there's a few personnel issues that need to be adjusted, that need to happen. Probably should have happened tonight. Definitely some non-decisions will be questioned to fly. Why didn't we do this and why didn't we do that? I should put this as a... So the link is in the chat if you guys want to jump on a post-game show. It's there. Benny Zero, thank you, brother, for the 5 gifted Pies footy memberships. Benny was kind enough to take me and my brother into the game, and we didn't have tickets. We weren't quick enough to get the tickets online, and Benny was more than welcoming. So it was a pleasure meeting you, mate. And yeah, sorry, unfortunately we're 0-1 together, so we'll have to square that ledger at some point. So once again, thanks, Benny, mate, superstar. All right. Let's get this post-game show underway. Why don't we? Yassel, mate.
Hello there. I told you, Fuck it, I told you, mate. You go and play the fucking wanker Charlie Dean before Frampton, and Darcy Moore gets fucking destroyed on the lead. Another Malacca kicks 6 goals on us, right? What's his name? Logan Morris. And then you got a bloke I've never seen before, Smith, kicking 3 goals in the first fucking 1.5 quarters there. You're right or what? The arrogance in his fucking coaching staff, right? Then you're playing McStay in the back fucking line when you got Frampton sitting in the fucking VFL. I spoke about it all fucking week there, and I told you what's going to happen. Charlie Dean is not fucking AFL standard. Simple.
So whose fault is it more? Whose fault is it?
You know what fault is? It's not Charlie's. We know.
Yeah.
We know Charlie's a shit kicker. It's the coach. You've been playing fucking Frampton all season long. He straightens up the back line. It's called the fucking spine. It's called the spine of the football club, right? You got the middle of the ground, the spine. Frampton straightens us up. Charlie Dean is lost. Darcy Moore's fucking pathetic, right? And then what happens is, because they can't win the contest, then you got Houston, you got Brazzy, and then you got Quaynor. They're playing out of their league, and they're giving away high free kicks because their job is not to spoil the ball. Their job's to rebound off the fucking back half. Catalavin? And then you're playing McStay. You're playing McStay in the back line. And we become Carlton or something. That's what shit clubs do, and we're not fucking that club. We're not that club, bro. You got McStay playing 3 positions: ruck, forward, and fucking defense. You're 25 points down, and you play McStay in the back line. What are you doing? Bring Frampton in, leave McStay up forward, right? And get him to cover the back line.
A lot of the outcome of tonight, I think, will fall on the responsibility of the coaches more than anything. Was our performance up to standard? No. Where Brisbane, did they have this perfect game plan that we'll probably have to watch back to really comprehend? I felt like they just fucking squeezed the living daylights out of us. Maybe we lacked a bit of
You know what the game plan was? You know what the game plan was? I told you during the week there. I know fucking football. They sat in a team meeting, right? And they put Charlie Dean's head and Darcy Moore's head on the fucking whiteboard. And they played through fucking Darcy Moore and they played through Charlie Dean. Their game plan was perfect. The way they were coming out of the midfield, the first person they were hitting was Logan Morris there. And if they couldn't hit Logan Morris, then they were hitting that bloke Smith, right? It was all fucking game plan. Our connection is gone, right? We're missing handballs. There was no run off the back. Our connection is totally gone, right? The midfield is in shambles, right? It's because the coach has got too cute, right? He's got too cute and he's playing fucking games with the team, right? There's no reason to leave Frampton in the VFL today. I watched the VFL on purpose. I watched it on purpose to watch Frampton play. No. Yeah, but they got the job done. They got the job done. We got demolished with Dean in the side. They got the job done.
Do you see the issue? Billy Frampton playing tonight today he gets 4 kicked on him allegedly in the VFL. That does not help his confidence coming back into a side.
Yeah, but that Frampton lets the others in our defensive line play a different role, bro. Right? I don't care what he done in the VFL today. I've seen him play fucking all season and we won 10 games in a row there. I don't give a fuck what he does in the VFL. I've seen him play AFL footy and he only got dropped because he got injured. If he didn't get injured, he wouldn't have got dropped. They dropped him because he got injured. What are you dropping him because he got injured for? Before he got injured, he was playing every fucking game. It makes no sense. And we spoke. You know what it is? You know what it is, bro, as well? We spoke about it all fucking week, right? We knew what was going to happen. I was watching this game today and it was a car crash because we spoke about it during the week. You cannot play Dean against the Brisbane Lions. They're too smart. They're a professional outfit. They're going to expose him. They're too fucking good for Dean there. Dean played a good game against kids in Richmond and the coaches got fooled. The coaches got fooled. We're talking about a fully blown fucking AFL team there, the Premiers. You're playing Dean against the Premiers there. You got Darcy Moore getting destroyed. And I've seen Darcy Moore on every commercial on TV, right? I've seen Darcy Moore doing everything properly. The only thing he's not doing properly is playing for the Collingwood Football Club as a captain. Everything else is doing fucking good, right? He got spoken to there and he's still doing the same fucking shit. I don't know what you saw out there. You at the game. But what I saw was fucking horrendous.
Yep.
What'd you see there? What did I say to you during the week there? What did I say to you? Did I tell you I got a feeling? I got a feeling.
Look, hey, 1 second. Just the thing that concerns me is a couple of non-decisions or indecisions by the coach, like Bobby Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Hill being the sub. Like, I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind Degoi's game from at the ground. He looked good. I'd like to get people's opinions in the chat, but I thought he was good for what he was worth, and I think Bobby Hill should have started. Like, why is he the sub? Yeah, he missed 4 weeks, but he wasn't injured. He missed a couple.
Yeah, Markov's playing. They got Markov playing. They got Markov playing his role there. Last week they had Markov running off the wing. This week they're playing him as a half forward there. Leave Markov as sub. And play Bobby. You played him in the fucking VFL. What are you making him sub for? It makes no sense, bro. That's why I'm buzzing, bro. Some of the decisions the coaches are making, they're getting too cute, mate. They're getting too cute. We've changed our game style. They're changing our game style now as well. You know what? Richmond won 3 premierships and never changed their game style. Do you know why? Because no one could fucking stop it, right? He didn't care that the other clubs knew their game style. They couldn't stop their game style. They were that perfect at it that you couldn't stop them. That's why they won 3 flags. We're doing all this other shit now.
That's it, mate. I've got to keep it rolling, man. There's
Listen.
lots to say tonight.
Listen, the chat's pissed off tonight. We've been talking in Discord. Prior there, I'm telling you, the chat's dirty, mate. The chat's dirty. This tonight was. Hey, before I go there, the only positive out of tonight is right. Jordan Degoi didn't get injured, and Bobby Hill's fucking fine as well. The rest of it was all fucking merda. When's Mick Secker going on?
Brazzy, I thought Brazzy and Perryman were pretty good. No?
Oh, no. If we didn't have Brazzy Secker there, our pants would have got pulled down. No Vasalino, straight in there without Vasalino. Yes, buddy. Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Thanks, Manny. All right, let's keep it going, huh? Conan, welcome back. Did you get rid of your mustache between the game or not? It's still there. Yeah. I can't. Are you on mute as well?
Nope, I'm good now. There we go.
Come on, mate.
Bro, I'm defeated. That was fucking. Oh, there's words that I want to say that I will probably get you taken offline. It is not
what have you
okay.
got for me outside of the use of that verbiage that you can't express?
Why the fuck are we subbing Degoi off against one of the best contest sides in the league? Why are we running no Mitchell against the best contest side in the league?
Can I ask serious question? Going into this game, were you saying why is Tom Mitchell not in and why is Ned Long still on the side? Were you asking yourself that question?
No, I just wanted to know why Mitchell was dropped for no reason other than him just getting omitted.
Well, you can't have both, essentially, right?
Well, we were doing pretty well with both.
Well, Ned Long's definitely on watch, that's for sure.
He's on fraud watch. He's on fraud watch.
He had 9 touches at 3/4 time. He did. I don't think he touched in the last quarter.
11% efficiency.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's fucking horrible.
Well, look, it is a far cry. What's disappointing is 12 weeks ago, Ned Long had this month where we're all thinking, are we looking at a star that we've plucked out of the mid-season draft? Like, what have we just pulled out of our asses here?
Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's the form? Where's the form gone? Fuck, bro, against Sydney, he had 26 touches. He got a third of it today. A third. You can't make this shit up. Bro, Nick Dacos, Lockie Schultz, and fucking Bruzzy. Only 3, I think, were actually playing the game.
Tom Mitchell would be he'd be licking his lips right now.
Yes, he absolutely would have, because there were so many stoppages where we needed someone to get in and under and feed it out to Nick, and we didn't have that player because we subbed Jordan Degoi off. You can't.
No. I don't. I'm not opposed to subbing Jordy Degoi off. I actually thought he'd be the sub. That wasn't the case. It's more surrounding the fact that Oleg Markov was on the field in lieu of Bobby Hill to start the game.
Yeah,
it's too much risk management this late in the season. Like, yes, Jared Wade clearly has a lot of fucking pull behind the scenes when it comes to who gets the AOK to play, but there must come a point in time. I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear Craig's conversations with Jared Wade, because at what point does Fly say, you know what, your strength and conditioning metrics and data and observation says this about Bobby Hill?
Not working.
But I see that, but I need Bobby starting, and we're willing to run the risk. But I don't think Fly's doing that.
He's not. He's relying way too much on the opinion of experts that are getting it wrong. They're getting it wrong. They say that all the stats say this. Well, his gameplay is saying something different. He's getting the sub. Did he even kick a goal? Did he kick a goal? I think he kicked one. Yeah, he kicked one. But he's playing sub. He's coming on. He's disappearing for the quarter, coming back in the fourth, kicking a goal, and that's all he's doing. Like that's not enough.
Who's this? Sorry,
Bobby. Didn't he kick one? Was it one goal?
Yeah, he hardly played in the third quarter. To be fair to him.
Still, well then why sub him?
How do you mean? Like why make him sub?
Well, if he didn't, no. Well, why sub him in the third if he barely played? That doesn't make any sense to me then. If he was on for like 5 or 6 minutes,
he should have just started.
Yeah, exactly. And then Markov should have been the sub. I don't understand why we're making Bobby Hill, a small forward, a sub. It makes no sense.
It was just at the end of the day, man. We're gonna have some good conversations tonight about what went wrong, but a lot of it was lost in the coach's box. And we, to be fair,
absolutely,
to Fly's credit, we haven't said this about Fly in a long time, where we've gone and said Fly's inability to change while the game is in motion or make bold selection calls. He hadn't got that wrong. I'd say going all the way back to this time last year. The last couple weeks though, it's
been rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not playing Frampton is probably one of the most insane choices that he could have done. Like why if he's injured, I would first of all, why play him in the VFL if he's injured? Doesn't make any sense.
Peter says, "Shut the fuck up about Fly, you tosser, mate. You've clicked on this stream. If you don't want to hear it, kindly go listen elsewhere, man. It doesn't make sense. People jump on the stream and they're telling me to specifically STFU, but the purpose of clicking on this video is to hear us speak. Anyways, I digress.
But yeah, it's probably one of the most wild coaching debacles I've ever seen, because he's not injured because he's playing VFL. So why are we playing Dean? What does Fly see in Dean? Did he want to play him in finals? Is that why he's playing him now? Because I doubt it. So why is he getting played?
Dean?
Yeah, Dean. Why is he getting played?
I've been saying this all week. I genuinely, hand on heart, I promise you, I thought and I think Fly believed that Dean could string together good games after that really strong game against Richmond, who were kids in the forward line.
Well, then that's just that's silly coaching, because they're one of the worst teams in the league. Of course, he's going to have a good game. When players can't play their role properly, they're going to look better when they play better opposition. It's really simple. Mm-hmm. That's not an excuse, I think, for Fly. If he genuinely believes that, that's not an excuse for me anyway. Like that right there is like, you're one of the probably best coaches in the league. The fact that you can't see that is bad. Is very, very bad. If I can see it, someone that hasn't played football in 6 years, give or take, mate, like, you get paid so much money to make these decisions, and you can't see something that simple. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just defeated. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Don't stress, man. Don't stress. Like it's very. It's like these calls that didn't go our way, in the sense that, like, talking about the selection committee and around, like, surrounding that realm. I think it's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to soften the blow here. Like, it's not ideal where we're at right now. We need to go 2-1. We need to win the next 2 out of our 3 games to still secure top 4. So there's that reality. But I think the positive is we've got players coming back that are not going to be at the level of below the level of Charlie Dean and
I certainly hope not.
Markov. Anyways, I'm going to keep it rolling, Kynan.
Nah, you're good. Holy shit. I need to go. Go Pies. I'm out.
See you, brother.
Hey.
Greatness.
What's going on?
Mate, just chilling. What about you?
Yeah, probably wasn't what I was expecting tonight. I think that's fair to say. I don't know. I feel like nights like this, you sort of want to just go over the facts in terms of what happened. I think, a lot of guys have already made like the points already. Like, Frampton should have played this week. I think along the lines with like Dean, I think the fact that he did have a good game against Richmond, that there has been something called selection integrity. I have been sort of like preaching about. It's just something that we do need. As much as I don't, agree with the fact that Dean was like one of the players that we need to have. I think that standard of if you play a good game, you sort of need to play the next week. So I can understand it in that sense, but also as well, I think it was, I think most of us can probably agree it was the right call to probably play Frampton, but we obviously didn't.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I did watch the VFL, and I know there's been a lot of people that have gone both ways with it. He played good, he played bad. Personally, my opinion with the VFL game, I thought for 3 quarters he didn't play that well, but the 4th quarter he stood up, and that was when the game was on the line. So how you read into that is like, are you glass half full, glass half empty? It really depends on your philosophy on just the topic itself. One of the things that obviously being a Frampton watcher for, since he's arrived at the club, one thing I have noticed with him is that he always plays better when he has support around him. When he's around players that, are, let's put it nicely, average at best, he doesn't seem to be the one that to sort of take the mantle and like lead the defense itself. But if he has someone like a Jeremy Howe or I'm just blanking on some names, like, like your Isaac Quainers, your Maynards, your Darcy Moores, like guys that are solid like leaders and defenders, he will complement them, but he won't like lead the backline himself. So I think that's the thing where we need to look at that.
Greatness. I don't subscribe to the idea that the captain of your football club, an all-Australian key defender, needs certain players to enable them to be the player that thrives and performs. Like we that's not this, like Pendlebury doesn't need that. Nick Maxwell did his thing. He didn't need that. Buckley, like it's just, it's not a camp that I sit in that we, he needs Murphy, he needs Jeremy Howe, he needs Billy Frampton. Yes, that might be the case, but is that what we're going to accept? Are we going to?
I'm saying that more for Frampton because we've seen it. We've seen for Frampton. We've seen him with better opposition. He plays better, but we've seen him with VFL, VFL teammates, and he's not been as good. In the 4th quarter, he was very good though. Like he stood up, game was on the line. I don't know how many McLaughlin kicked in the 4th quarter, but I think he did kick 4 on Frampton, who was the direct matchup. So as I said, it depends if you're half full, half empty with the topic itself. But I think he definitely needs to come in for sure because we've seen it. Like he has played well when he's got all these guys around him. We have. But that's the thing though. Once he's out of the side, it's weird because Fly just doesn't. Once he's in, like he's backed in, but like once he's out, it's like for some reason there's like all of a sudden hesitation happens, which
it's been a trend.
I guess
it's been a trend.
Yeah, and it's like there's just hesitation all of a sudden. It's like, well, you've seen it happen, like it works. The only times when it doesn't happen is when you throw in Frampton in the ruck, you're throwing him up forward, and then he's like out of confidence all of a sudden, and it's why? How are we not looking at the past and looking at that as a I'm trying to think of the word here, but as a sample of like what he's done in the past. Why aren't we looking at that and using that as the directive of like this is what his future could be? Because we've seen him in defense and it works, but all of a sudden he's in VFL and he's just not. Saying he's not getting a game, it's only been really an extra week than normal, but the only reason I can think of is the 5-day difference between now and what's a Hawthorn next week. But even with Tom Mitchell, Tom Mitchell was dropped. He wasn't managed. That's like another thing where sort of I think the club sort of I don't know. I mean, obviously, if he has been dropped, well, obviously that's the right context. But wouldn't you think it would be more of like a managed sort of thing? Because like going into the Hawthorn game, like, and he's like ready to go, rested. He doesn't have to. He's going to be more rested with the 5-day. Taking the 5-day break out of it. I don't know. I just thought that was a bit sort of strange from a club like detailing that as someone being dropped rather than being rested, if that makes any sense. Because we definitely need him tonight, that's for sure.
100%, but it's in the past now. All we can hope is, look, you know what? As I do feel sorry for Charlie Dean. I want to preface that I feel bad for him. I feel like the coaches, they stitched him up. He shouldn't have been out there. It is what it is. That hand pass in the final minute of the game was pretty much Charlie Dean signing off for the Collingwood Football Club. Unfortunately for him, you've talked about this week and even tonight selection integrity around Billy Frampton and Charlie Dean. Now, fill me in. Going into this game, you see Tom Mitchell dropped, and you see Ned Long holds his spot. Ed Allen dropped, and Tom Mitchell above anyone would be was the stiffest to miss tonight. What was your thoughts going into this game about that decision surrounding selection integrity, and how do you feel now after the result and what we saw?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I thought I didn't even think Mitchell was even up for the idea of being dropped. To be honest, I thought, if you had told me like Thursday afternoon that Mitchell was going to be dropped, I would have thought it would have been a joke, to be honest, because he didn't have a bad game against Richmond. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think he had high 20s, like 28, 29 disposals. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure his efficiency would have been up there, 85+%. I just don't know, and especially as well, we know with Brisbane, he having him against Brisbane, he matches up really well against them. Like we've seen in the grand final, like he was our second best player, and I know that was 23, and that's 2 years ago, but I was really surprised out of all the teams. I thought if there was any teams he wouldn't have matched up well against, it would have been like someone like a Hawthorn, because Hawthorn, they do play a bit of inside, but they have a bit of leg speed as well. So maybe that he would have like struggled with that game. But I was very, very surprised that, because he was definitely someone we needed. It was very obvious tonight. We definitely needed his skills, and I just, again, another decision that I'm just trying to comprehend, because it's really hard to just.
So do we see Tom Mitchell in for Ned Long against Hawthorn potentially?
I mean, you go back to selection integrity. I mean, he would have to, right? But in saying that, from a matchup point of view, I feel like Long would be a better matchup. And he's also, the last game we played against Hawthorn, he actually played extremely well. So
I can almost guarantee you, if Tom Mitchell didn't play in the VFL, they were keeping one eye on the Hawthorn game in case they needed to inject him right back in.
Exactly. Well, that's again, I think a lot of people need to keep in mind this 5-day break, I think, has thrown a wrench in things and into a lot of our plans. I don't know how aware they were of this 5-day break, but I think the fact that we hadn't played Frampton, we backed in Dean, coming off a calf injury from Frampton's side of things, like, were they hesitant to sort of play him? But then how can you say that when they're throwing Degoi in there, which, I think all week I've been pretty skeptical to throw Degoi in there, because
he was good.
He was good, but I mean, when he like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like with someone like a Degoi out, and then you had like Bobby Hill in, it didn't feel like, I don't know how to word this properly, but obviously we have a sub, so we have 23 players, but it didn't feel like we had like 22 players on the ground. And I don't know how to word this properly, but like when you have Degoi playing at the percentage that he had, it wasn't a side where it was like full strength. Like it felt like we had a good 10 to 15% off in terms of as a collective, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I think it like showed when you have an underdone Degoi. I don't think Hill was that underdone because Hill has basically done everything that he's done normally, but like it's hard to sort of have the impact that he had because he only had a quarter and a half. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, and then I don't know. It's just really.
I'm sorry, man. I've got to keep it rolling. I've got so many people. I'm sorry, man. But I appreciate your thoughts and yeah, well said. And hopefully, the good thing about where we're at right now is it'll be Thursday before we know it, and we have an opportunity to rectify some issues that we've discussed.
Yeah, one of the other things too, I know, just to the roadmap. We know Hawthorn's very, very beatable, especially with Will Day out. So hopefully we can pencil in that win. Crows, we know, are going to be very difficult, but that is off a long break. So hopefully we're fresh enough for that. And then obviously Melbourne, and hopefully we can get the win there. So season is not done, but hopefully that with some form in the next 3 games, hopefully we can build something in the finals.
Brilliant. Thanks, Greatness. Appreciate you, mate.
All good.
See you, mate. James. There he is.
Hello, mate.
How are
you? Yeah, not too bad. Let me start off with something positive to say. Yeah, you're doing a great job. I've been tuned into your channel now for a couple of years. I know things get pretty spicy on the show there, and it's probably going to continue to do so. But I appreciate your efforts. You're sticking with it. You're here every week. I tune in when I can, and yeah, man, I really appreciate that. Hey,
I appreciate you, people like you, my friend. Thank you.
No, that's all good. I went to the game tonight. Yeah, what can I say? It's pretty disappointing. Look, you no doubt going to have a lot more people chime in on the Charlie Dean thing. I'm sort of with what a lot of people are saying there. One thing I'm not with is people coming down on Dan Houston. Sorry, I don't care what you say. Like all up in the comments on Collingwood's socials at the moment. Oh, he's terrible. Mate, everyone was saying that about Shooter last year. You remember this. And this year it's like, oh, Shooter, he's great, you know. So I'm not hearing that at all. But one thing I saw watching the game tonight, mate, is I genuinely felt like it was a thing. I think I spoke to you about this last year. It's like the 2024 thing. I'm just like watching the players going, where's the effort? Like it's just not there. There's a synergy when we play well, and you can see it on the players. It was not there tonight. I don't know where it could, you know, whether there's, I don't know, something going on between team members, you know, all this talk about contracts or whatever. But I don't know, man. I just didn't see the effort there. I'm sort of watching the ball get kicked from one side to the other, and McStay's just kind of jog. I'm like, why are you jogging? Like, get the ball. Like, this is crazy. Like, we need to win this. It just felt like it was a real casual sort of effort. And I'm sort of a little bit confused. It just reminded me of stuff I was seeing last year. It was good to see, you know, Bobby back, Degoi snap one. That was good. Even Degoi's efforts sort of off the ball. If you're at the game, you're just sort of looking at him. He's standing by himself. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? But to be honest, my gripes are probably less with the players and more with the coaching staff. This whole player management thing, dude, it's off. It's way off. Like, again, as I spoke to you about this last year, stats and data, all it reflects is things that have happened, not the things that are going to happen. You can use it to quantify the things that you anticipate might occur, but it's not the be-all and end-all. And this is not the time to be rolling the dice, you know? Like, oh, man, like, yeah, it's like pretty disappointing. I don't normally leave the games early. Tonight I actually did. I was just like, wow. Like, and then if you thought the game was disappointing, wait till you see Fly's presser. Oh, my God. He does this a couple of times a year where he gets up and spouts some nonsense. Oh, we don't do the negative stuff. Well, maybe you need to, mate. You know, it's always at the end, oh, go home, tell your family you love them and all that kind of stuff. How about you get in there and kick their asses? You know, like get a response, get them moving, because I'm not seeing that on the field, and I'm sure many other people kind of feel the same. It's this you know, this faith that he's putting into the people who are sort of managing the team, the expectations of we keep this player rested for him. Well, it's going to come in handy down the track. Well, I mean, how much closer do we need to get? You know, we've just lost top spot tonight. We got 3 games left: Hawthorn, Crows, and Melbourne. I feel pretty confident we'll win at least one of those. We need to win at least 2, and obviously it'd be nice to win 3. But man, yeah, the coaching staff, dude, pretty frustrated with them right now,
Mate, yeah. I'm hoping all can be forgiven on Thursday, and that can be done early in the week by going, hey, these are the players we're going to bring in for said players. And I just want to let's go back a bit, because you've unpacked a lot. So maybe we can talk about Dan Houston. I've been, I can see the support in, all right, Lockie Schultz had an eerily similar type of year last year for the Pies. And in his second year, he's flourishing as a Magpie. What is there a difference between them? I mean, maybe some people will argue that Houston, we gave up more, and maybe another argument for some supporters would be, well, Dan Houston is playing in a side that's performing really well, whereas Shooter didn't have that last year. This was definitely Houston's worst game for the club. Am I off him? Am I expecting the club to drop him? No. I almost feel like, you know what? People aren't going to like this, but he has to play. He has to play, and we need to find out about Dan Houston in the finals. I worry that if we drop the ball on that, it's something we could regret. And yeah, he's not playing great. I understand. When in that last quarter, there were times we needed to go from our back half, and Dan Houston elected to go long, and we're quite conservative in that last quarter, which is not something I'm typically acquainted with when we talk about the Collingwood Football Club. So there were things that were very disappointing. His tackling, we saw maybe he needs to get a bit lower and a bit more wiser with the way he approaches some of those tackles, because they slip at times.
Yeah.
But the bottom line for me right now is, despite him not playing well, I think we have to stick with him.
Oh, for sure. I think it would also be fair to say that we've seen him play a bunch of games where he's done really well this year. And I anticipate a return to that sort of form. Everyone has their off games, and I'm not going to sort of necessarily make excuses for that. He's just not that sort of player where I'm looking at him, like, as I've been banging on about Mason Cox for like 2 seasons. Just move on, mate. Like, it's done. Please. I'm like, sorry, it's great. You've had a premiership. It's all that good. Move that dude on. But, I mean, at the same time, I was actually really impressed that you did a video talking about Darcy Moore. Dude. I mean...
Hey, that decision to post a video on him wasn't taken lightly, and it wasn't received lightly either. I tell you that, mate. Fuck.
Well, that's, you know, the truth has never been sort of popular. I agree, dude. I mean, I was like sitting behind the goal square for the whole. I'm just watching this guy going, like, that's our captain. And I kind of wonder whether that kind of throws things off as well. I mean, you notice whenever, like there's things with like on TV or whatever. Who are we talking about? It's always talking about Nick Dacos. And then when they interview Darcy Moore backstage, they bring up Nick Dacos. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, everybody loves Nick Dacos. It's like, yeah, there's a reason for that. It's like, just step up, mate. Like, I don't know, man. I just kind of feel some kind of way about Darcy Moore. I try to keep it under control, but I don't know. He just keeps making unnecessary mistakes. He leaves too much space between himself and the player that he's working on. Ned Long didn't have a good game tonight, obviously, but I've seen him. He's another player that we saw doing well earlier in the year. I think we got to give a little bit of space for the younger players to come in. It's, you know, we all want to see everyone playing at 120%. But the younger players, it takes a bit for them to get their footing. You know, Lockie Sullivan out for the season, but he's had a few great games this year. It's good to see that talent building up. But yeah, I don't know. I just, as I said, to me, I don't think I'm not seeing necessarily any too much of players where I'm just like, what is going on there? Why have we got this player here? You know, again, Charlie Den, I'm sure, is going to come up for the rest of your podcast here. But I just feel like the team needs to recapture something. I don't know what it is, but it's, you know, when we're doing well, it's not just about the scores on the ball. You can see it in the players. The connection is there. And right now, like I said, I just sat through Fly's presser. I'm like, dude, like, enough of this player management, all this off the ground. So fix it up now. We're here. We're ready for it. We need to take this, and it's there for the taking. But I'm not feeling overly confident right now.
Yeah, the flag is in sight, and yeah, changes, some slight changes, and end our conversation with when you're losing and something's just not quite right, and you can't quite make sense of it. You just hope that we make a few of those changes that we've been begging to see, and hopefully just the other stuff comes all together again for Hawthorn and beyond.
Yeah, well, I think I also am trying to keep in mind 2023, we got to the end of the season. The last few games of the season, we didn't do well. It looked similar to what I'm seeing now. And there was a lot of conversation about they don't seem to be making the effort or whatever. I remember seeing the presser, the interviews with the players, and they go, oh, no. And then they put out that film at the end of the year after we win the grand final. And half the players were like, yeah, we kind of packed it in by then. Is that what we're seeing now? Who knows? But fingers crossed for the rest of the season. I'm still confident we're going to have a fair crack at it. I just hope management just gets out of the way and lets the good players do their thing, yeah?
That's it. Appreciate you for jumping on, James. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, and good to see you.
Nice one, mate. Keep up the good work. Go Pies.
Thanks, brother. Go Pies. All right. Manny, sorry, Matt. I missed this one. You said it all week, $10. Is that regarding Darcy Moore? I think that's probably Darcy Moore, isn't it? And then there was, what was next? Benny. Thank you for the 10, my friend. Finally home. Remember I said the ground net felt strangled and suffocated. A mate messaged me a screenshot at one point in the second half. Lions had pressure rating 258. Neil was their Titch tonight. He was great. Yeah. It ended up being a game where Titch would have thrived in, but how are we to know? Yeah, I think Ned Long probably had to get another game. He probably had to get another game, in my opinion, and that was his game tonight. 9 touches. For me, that's Tom Mitchell has to come back in. That's what I think. Is that unanimous in the chat? I'm curious. Let me know. But I think Tom Mitchell, the fact that he didn't play in the VFL, keeping in mind that he could come back in against Hawthorn, I think that's the play. Thanks, Betty, for the 10. And once again, thanks for having me and my brother at the game tonight, despite the loss. They will need to connect their mic. Boomer, I'm trying to add you to the stage, but it says you need to connect your mic before I can add you in. So I will go. Let's go. Big man.
Yo, how's it going?
Mate, it's going. What about you?
Yeah, it's all right. It could have been a lot better if we didn't lose by 30. It's all right. One thing I want to say is Darcy Moore slander. I'm not going to accept it. I think Darcy Moore, if you look at like how Darcy Moore plays, he's been playing like that for since we had Nathan Murphy. He needs a Frampton, he needs a Howe. And when he has those players, like mid-season, everyone's saying this guy could be all Australian. Like he's keeping players goalless. He's doing good. But when you have he's got Charlie Dean, he's got like Maynard playing like another tool. It's just hard for him, like because he has to kind of not play that loose intercepting role. He has to play more man on man, and he just kind of can't. Like you saw it with Patrick Voss a couple of weeks ago. He just runs away from him, and there's nothing like he can't keep up. He leaves too much space. So I think bringing Frampton next week, Howe should be back. Hopefully, it'd be massive for us. I think all the stress that we have at the moment, like the whole. No, we're not looking as good. We're not looking motivated. I think a massive part of that comes from Frampton and Howe being out. Like they are massive for turnovers as well, which is where we get most of our scores.
Yeah, it's tonight. Tonight was like a combination of Brisbane, like as we've said already, strangling us, keeping us in their forward half, sort of reversing the game on us, and then when they did get out, they were able to get out of over the top of us a number of times. In the second half was really where they obviously stretched away after they started strong in that first quarter. We bounced back. Yeah.
Another thing I wasn't too keen. Sorry, another thing I wasn't.
No, I was literally going to say what else is on the top of your mind.
McStay playing down back. We just can't be doing that at all. I think we leave our forward line so vulnerable, like especially during the last quarter where we're just bombing kicks out, trying to look for someone. We can't be bombing those kicks to 178 centimeter Jamie Elliott. Like we needed Dan McStay to take those clunky marks and actually like slow the ball up, look for a nice target. I think too many times we're just trying to bomb it long to Jamie Elliott or Bobby Hill in that last quarter, and their defenders are just taller or outnumbered, and it's like they just get an easy turnover, bring it back. So
I do feel like Elliott had an almost game where he had his hands on the ball so often.
Yeah.
But he would fumble, or where you make a really good point is he presents as that tall forward sometimes. So he takes these almost marks, but if he's a couple inches taller, which he's never going to put on anyway, not at his age at the very least, he can't stick them at times. So that's where I think a lot of his almost touches came from tonight.
I thought that was like for most of the players tonight, very fumbly. Tim Membry was dropping a few marks. Mychek was dropping a few. It's just like we just didn't look. It looked like we felt the pressure. which is not. I feel like something that's what we're really good with is we're composed, we're calm, we deal with the ball, especially like early in the season. You know, we take it slow. We're the ones causing the pressure. It's not really like the other way around.
Mhm.
And I think that shows like Ned Long tonight. I'm massive on Tom Mitchell. I'm not the biggest guy on Ned Long, and it just like Ned Long tonight. I think all 9 of his disposals might have went to Lockie Neal. So he just looked like he was under pressure, and he looked like he was trying to do too much. Like he wanted to try and break 3-4 tackles and get the handball out to like a Nick Dacos or something. But against a team like Brisbane, who are bringing the pressure as well, like he just kept getting tackled, or he just kept trying to smash it forward, or it just didn't work at all. And their turnover skill, their speed just absolutely killed us. So
It's fuck. You know what's funny? All week we were talking about how like their forward line isn't super polarizing, and then Logan Morris and Henry Smith, who I'd never heard of before
yeah,
tonight, they kick 10
Oh.
between each other.
Yeah, I think I kicked 9, but I was messaging my mates in the group chat. They're Geelong supporters, but I'm kicking off. I'm like, never heard of this guy in my life. This is a whole Patrick Voss situation. Like, he's just kicked 3 out of nowhere. Like he's like he just came out the womb yesterday, and he's just slotting 3 on the like. I get Charlie Dean. I think the reason he plays is because he did have a good game last week. Yet like it being against Richmond, he had 19 touches. He had a good game, and then I think maybe you just rest Frampton because Hawks have those key tools. They thought, oh, Brisbane, they got Hitwood and Logan Morris, not too tall. We don't have to worry about it. But I mean, yeah, Charlie Dean was not it tonight. I think Maynard was playing on Charlie Cameron and a bit of what's his name, 16 for Brisbane. I forgot his name.
Bailey.
Rayner, yeah, you're playing a bit
Yeah.
of Rayner. It just wasn't gelling tonight at all, and it really showed in the back line. And it's really like I think half our game, or most of our game, comes off that back line turnover. We turn it over, we bring the pressure, we like in that second quarter where we're just forcing Brisbane to just bomb it long. Darcy Cameron's just there every time. We just keep bombing it forward. That's what we do. But there's just too many times where they can bomb it long. You've got like a Charlie Dean there, or you've got Darcy Moore who's just not able to play that role, and they just get out the back, and it just absolutely stiffed us for most of the night, which is annoying to say.
If we want to talk about just briefly, like we're not gonna kick Charlie Dean any more down than where he is right now, because I feel like more than anything, the selection committee, maybe my opinion, almost stitched him up playing him again, giving him false hope that he's at the level. And I try to put that as kindly as I can. But one of the things that just clearly demonstrates that he's not at the level is his lack of composure, more specifically his inability to keep his feet in the contest. Like he's slipping before he gets the chance to even impact any contest.
Yeah,
which completely nullifies your ability.
Yeah, I saw one against Logan Morris where it just came out the back, and he's just slipping over, and they get a goal from it. I think Logan Morris gives a hands off, and they get a goal, but he's just very inexperienced, which is a massive thing. And it's not saying he's so bad. He's not built to be that player yet. That's a Frampton type of player. That's a Howe. He's not built to be that player. And I think it really rubs off on Darcy Moore, because Moore then has to stop what he does, which is let his player get 4 or 5 meters and he can run an intercept. He has to then play man on man. And I think it really, really hurts our defense, and then which then hurts our turnover game, and which really slows us down. But
yeah,
I don't want to kick him more down, but I don't think he's not built for the way up. He hasn't fit our system, I think is the best way. I don't think he can play that role yet. Like he's not experienced enough to be that player.
All right, big man. Appreciate you jumping on, my friend.
Easy, thank you. Go for
Take care, brother. Go
See ya, bye.
Legend. All right, let's go with Tyler.
Hey, mate. How's it going?
Good. We're here. It's I always look forward to these as much as maybe I wasn't looking forward to this beforehand. Just getting into it and having a fair conversation with everyone's always fun. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I just want to start off by saying I appreciate all the work you're doing. This must be a pretty tough job with all these losses in the last 4 weeks. So I don't envy your job, but I appreciate it.
Hey man, you guys are all here, so we're all in this together at the end of the day, right?
Look, the first point that I want to say, I completely agree with your Charlie Dean assessment. I think it's unfortunate. I think he has been stitched up. I don't think he should have played tonight, and I think it did give him false confidence that he's up there and he's just not. I think the unfortunate thing with him is that he's been stitched up since last year. He played matches that he shouldn't have played. He got removed when he was playing well, and then he's just been completely mismanaged. And unfortunately, tonight may have been his last match.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I wish him all the best in whatever future endeavor, at whichever club or level. It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's one thing which I haven't heard anyone discuss tonight, and I'm not sure, and I want to get your opinion on it. Throughout the whole year, Fly kept mentioning 14 wins. He kept emphasizing 14 wins gets finals. The moment we get to 14 wins, it seems like that's when he started experimenting, he started managing players, and we've struggled since Gold Coast because of that. And that's because it seems like he had 14 as a magic number, and now it's, we've got to the finals, and we start seeing what we can do, what we can throw at the wall and see what sticks. And unfortunately, we may have started 1 or 2 weeks too early.
It's a great point you raised.
That's why I'm not sure, like, if just to get your opinion, do you think that because of like the player management that the matches were lost at selection?
Yeah, that's sort of been a bit of a topic that we've been discussing tonight, and not so much tonight, but more over the course of the last couple of weeks. And it's been around. The narrative has been, why we're just float. We're right there. I don't know if did the Collingwood Football Club as a department, did they realize too late how close we are to now being like we're talking, if we don't win the 2 of our next 3, we could be out of the top 4.
And that's the thing, yeah, because like everyone keeps making comparisons to 2023, but we were pretty safe top 2 during those last 5 weeks. And now, we need a lot of things to go right for us to stay in top 4, let alone even make top 2. Like that's the worry.
Yeah. The good thing is the power is in our hands.
Yeah.
We're absolutely, if we like, we could be staring down a barrel of like forecasting ahead. We could be looking at a 2v3 where we're the 3rd team in the top 4, and we could be versing Geelong in the first qualifying final. But we will cross that path if and when we get there. But yeah, you're right. It's admittedly, as a fan, it feels like just the other day we were 3 games clear at the top, and it just goes to show how quickly that can be diminished. And you can be walking out of the MCG on a Saturday night with pie in your face and thinking, gee whiz, it's not as, we're not as clear as we thought we were now. And maybe that's exactly where the club sit right now. I'd like to think that they think a bit deeper than us at times, but maybe looking back at that Fremantle game, the Gold Coast game, and now this game with the way we've went in with selection, the selection committee went in with what we have tonight, you just wonder.
Yeah, like I completely agree with you that we couldn't have foreseen that Ned Long was going to have a poor game, and I couldn't have told you that Titch was the right player. So maybe we needed to roll that dice to see that Titch might be the player next week or the week after. And it's an important lesson to have now than in 2 weeks' time. But
Yeah.
I don't think this match was lost at selection, but we've got important lessons from this match because of selection.
Oh, that's a bit of wordplay. Say that again. Let me
So
hear
I
that
don't think we
again.
lost it. I don't think we lost this match at the time of selection, but we've got a lot of lessons that we can learn because of the selection.
Ooh,
Like
they sound like the same thing to me.
No, so like we can see, like it was the right call to put Bobby as the sub. Like we saw that at the start of the match
Was
until
it?
we saw that Degoi was playing. No, I think Degoi, it was right for him to be the sub. I don't know whether he should have been the starting sub or whether he should have been subbed off. I think when we saw that he was playing really well, he shouldn't have been the sub. He shouldn't have been subbed off.
So that's a decision you make at selection, right?
That would be the selection, yeah. So that's why at that time it wasn't a bad decision, assuming that he's going to struggle or assuming that we need to manage his minutes.
They
Like,
were
I think there
definitely
was,
putting him as a sub to, like you said, manage his minutes. I said what I said early in the post-game show. I said there's got to come a point where Fly McRae says to Jared Wade, mate, I appreciate all the numbers and the data you're putting in front of me when it comes to Bobby Hill's kilometers, sprint efforts, repeat efforts, but I need Bobby playing. I need Bobby starting this week. Even with Bobby, here's the thing. Another thing with Bobby is knock on wood, he hasn't got soft tissue history in his
yeah.
past. So the calculated risk of having him start tonight, in my opinion, would have been pretty low. And they still decided to make him a sub.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you're right. So then, in your opinion, do you think that the plan was always for Degoi to be subbed out,
Yep.
regardless of how he was playing?
Absolutely.
Then I'd agree. Then the selection was lost at the time of the match.
Mm.
Yeah, then
Well,
at that stage, we should have rolled the dice with Bobby and bring Degoi in the second half. Because I think it just looked like we had pie in our face that Degoi was, arguably one of our better players, and he's out. Like that seemed bizarre. Like, and we were 1 point down, or a couple of goals down, and it just seemed like the second half. I've never seen us look that out of focus in the last quarter.
Mm.
So yeah, look, I'll leave you with that. You must have more people on here. Appreciate the work. Go Pies.
I appreciate you jumping on, Tyler. Take care, brother.
Take care.
Yeah. Mickles. You know what? Just quickly, for some reason, me looking at you right now, it looks like maybe I've got the wrong picture, but it looks like you're in that first Saw movie where the guy wakes up with the chain on around his ankle and he's got to saw it off in the first scene. I don't know why I get that vibe, but that's the type of energy I'm getting from you right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Hold on. For some reason, they can't hear or see you. Let me 1 second. Let me remove you, add you back in, and I'll check on my end. 1 sec. Hold on. I want to remove you and add you back in. Guys, can you see him now? I'm just going to check on my end, Mickles. Give me 1 sec, mate. You should be able to see him now. All right. So as you were.
Yeah, as I was saying, the main point of it was starting with the coming into the game selection on AFL level. We didn't take Brisbane seriously enough, and the selection thought, we could probably still rest some players as well as, keep Dean in there. Dean was the first problem. That started the domino effect. Darcy Moore actually didn't play too bad for the first quarter. He tried his heart. I saw him play decent. And then he fell off after the second quarter. So around third, fourth, he's just started playing. He was deflated. And then it wasn't just him. Pez tried, but he was deflated. Everyone was deflated. We had McStay in the back as well, playing, like Manny said, 3 different roles. It's too much. It's too much.
Does the chat agree with that Dan McStay's playing too many different roles? Like, he's played ruck, he's played forward. When Darcy Moore is on the interchange, Dan McStay's been covering him. Is that too much?
If it's not too much, my question to the chat is, what more do you want him to play? Might as well play him. We might as well start playing him center. Then we'll play him as a follower. Then we'll play him as, basically every role at this point.
Yeah.
McStay can play any role then.
I have to say, this is the first game, besides a GWS game, where there's not a lot of people. Look, this is, guys, if you are not privy to how sports entertainment works and the endless cycles, there's when you win, it's great. The feedback is tremendous. When you lose, it's pessimism. It's the world is ending. There's no in between. But I will say tonight, there were not a lot of positives in our game. The positives exist outside of this game, and that's what we can do with selection with our side for the next couple of weeks.
One of the other positives we had was we got to see Bobby Hill for a bit, and that was a really good sign. He came in, he had an influence, but I felt a bit deflated, the fact that he felt more like it seemed like he was relegated to nothing more than just being a cheerleader on the sidelines, because he's sitting there. And the commentators even made note, why is Bobby Hill still a sub? Like, he didn't change onto the field even throughout the first half. I did not. Why? But I understand. But there was mention. They did say also at the same time, they also acknowledged it seems like McRae and the Collingwood selection don't want to reveal all their cards. It's both, okay, but also a problem right now. It's becoming a problem.
All right, Mickles, I'll let you cut I'll let you cut the padlock off
your
ankle,
right,
mate, so you can get to the next stage.
All right, my ankle needs to go, man. Hopefully we'll kick Hawthorn after that and then Adelaide. So go Pies.
Go Pies. Cheers, Mickles. Appreciate you, my friend.
Cheers.
Guys, I'm keeping this. So just by the way, a little announcement. Mick will be doing a post-game show after this. So I intend on keeping the post-game show to an hour and a half. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 more people left. So we'll have a chat to them. And then Mick will be the 5th person. Get Mick on for a couple minutes. I'll put a link in the chat for you guys after this show or towards the end of this show, so you guys can seamlessly head over to Mick's post game show as well. So we'll be doing that as well. So I know there's a few of you guys who could speak about Collingwood till the cows come home. So Mick is going to fill that void for you guys there. Let's go, Kev.
Hey mate, how are ya?
Oh, you sound sad, mate. Come on, what's going on?
No, I got home not long ago, so that was good. Look, I thought second quarter was really good. I really thought that. The way that we moved the ball in that second quarter, it was superb. Just a few things as well. Look, I feel sorry for Charlie Dean. It's not his fault. I think, and I was saying to someone today at the footy, when we get Savani in for next year, you're going to have Frampton, Darcy Moore, Howe, and Jack Savani in. So if you had to manage like Howe, for example, or you put Billy Frampton in the reserves for coming back from injury, at least you got Jack Savani there with Darcy Moore and Charlie Dean. Ashley would thrive on that, I think. So it's definitely not Charlie Dean's fault. He played well against Richmond, and I gave him a vote for that. But I just think had Frampton played today, probably would have helped. Look, I probably was wrong. I thought that we should have played Geordie in the VFL at least for half or something, but he did well today. And yeah, I think Mitchell being dropped or managed, whatever the case is, he didn't play VFL today, but I think he'll definitely come in next week, especially that Hawthorn's midfield without Day, that they tend to struggle against the good sides. And they had to use a lot of the petrol tickets throughout the game because it was, they got into a massive lead, then Adelaide came back, and then, it was very tight throughout the rest of the game as well. So they probably will be sore. Friday night footy compared to us playing on Saturday. It is a Thursday night game, but yeah, a bit disappointing to be honest. But
Kev, if you want a big statement to sleep on tonight, just to consider, I think. Okay, so we've played in our last 4 games. We're 1-4. Yes.
Yeah.
We're 1-4. So if we lose next week against Hawthorn, we should beat Hawthorn if we are for two reasons. If we are to be premiership consideration, we have to beat Hawthorn because in my eyes, they're a year or two off where they need to be as it stands right now. But the other thing is, like, the record we had towards the back end of 2023 was it 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 win in 5 games at the pointy end of the home and away season.
And we went on flag too by doing that. Yeah.
Well,
look, I still think we can win the flag. I think we'll beat Adelaide and Hawthorn now, because I would have said, I know I said last week, that it would have been a loss to the Hawks. But now that we've had that loss that we've had, we must beat Hawthorn, Adelaide, and also Melbourne. And considering that, let's be honest, Adelaide will beat West Coast regardless, that top 2 finish would depend on if we beat Hawthorn and Adelaide. Because you can't have a soft kill against a weaker opposition and then expect to come out against us and expect to play good footy. Yes, Adelaide played well against Hawthorn, you give them credit for it, but against us is a different story. Don't forget that we played, I think it was Port Adelaide, and then we played Carlton, and we lost to Hawthorn, and we lost to Brisbane at Marvel as well, and we beat Geelong and Essendon in the last 2 games of the season. And therefore we went on the run. So I do think we're capable of doing that. But having said that too, don't forget Howie's out, McCreary's out. So if we get McCreary and Howe back the next couple of weeks with Frampton, it definitely make our team a lot better as well. So I'm looking forward to what we do against Hawthorn. Yeah, it's a bad loss, and I was disappointed like anybody else, frustrated, but I think at the end of the day, these games are a must win, and we can't afford to lose so many as well. And just don't rest any players now. Let's just have a good 23 in. Who cares if we're showing our cards to the opposition? We know that Billy Frampton helps out Darcy Moore a lot, and I thought Darcy Moore did alright tonight. He did some good spoils. Some of the goals that Brisbane kicked as well. It wasn't because of him not defending. It was the way that Brisbane moved the ball from half back that made it too easy. It was a lack of pressure up the field. So when we got into our second quarter, we our pressure was up. It really was. And it was really close, like we'll point down at half time. So
I look at Harris Andrews, and am I stupid for comparing Harris Andrews to Darcy Moore? I don't know. But Darcy Cameron, I mean, guys, I said there weren't a lot of positives outside of Jordan Degoi and Bobby Hill, but I tell you what, Darcy Cameron's intercept work in the back half, goodness gracious, if we did not have Darcy Cameron tonight assisting Charlie Dean and Darcy Moore, fuck. Oh,
fuck, what we would struggle, man. Oh, and also too, the centre clearances. It felt like to me when Darcy Cameron was winning the taps, he was tapping it like forward instead of backwards a bit to where our players are standing as well. And he got held off a heck of a lot tonight, and he didn't get any free kicks. You know, he gets manhandled a fair bit in the rucking contest. And yes, some of the umpiring were ridiculous, but we got ourselves to blame in this as well. Had we come out in the first quarter and play better like we did in the second quarter, well, we wouldn't be in this position. We can't afford to let teams jump us from the start. We have to restrict them. And that's literally what they did. They killed us in the first quarter. We fought back in the second quarter, and it felt like after halftime we just ran out of petrol tickets. Don't know why.
All right, Kev. Until Thursday then, huh?
Till Thursday, mate. I'll be there. Sick or no sick, doesn't matter, mate. I'll still be there.
Go get some sleep, mate. Let's get that cold away from you, my friend.
No, don't worry. I'll try. I'll try.
All right, brother.
All right, see you, brother.
See you, Kev. Emma, we have the oldest list, and there are natural consequences of that. We will learn about player management while not disrupting team harmony. So that's probably a left field perspective that maybe we haven't spoken too much to, and that's the fact that we are in a unique position alongside Geelong, and that's learning how to manage older players throughout the season. And you can't say that's a position that we've been in the past, right? So with that logic, you have to understand to a certain extent that on one side of the field, you have to accept that it's pretty fresh and new to us, how we deal with this. And hopefully, hopefully we can walk out of this year with cup number 17. But with or without it, I think certainly the whole player management thing will be a strong learning curve for this club for 2026 or for 2025 for the remainder of the year and beyond. Absy.
Hey mate, how you going?
Yeah, how am I going? Just you?
Yeah. Not too bad. Been better. Was better about a month ago.
Yep.
Geez, we're missing Jeremy Howe so bad. So bad. I think he's the main one. Like Frampton as well, but I think it's Howe. He's the one that's just
At what point
causing out.
What point did you realize how important Jeremy Howe was this year? Be honest. I'm just curious.
I always knew how important he was because he's just like a rock. You know, he's so good he's just always in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's quick and he can obviously can jump and take big marks. He's just like got a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, no, we need. I thought he was supposed to be back this week. They said that he was going to be back this 2 weeks.
He got
But
sick,
I guess
man. He got
maybe.
sick, and it threw back his conditioning, his reconditioning. Another one of those ones where could fly override Jared Wade's decision about Jeremy Howe. I probably would be more conservative with the Jeremy Howe, given his groin history. Bobby Hill, on the other hand, I would have loved Fly to say, Jared Wade, sorry, mate, he is starting tonight, and that is the bottom line.
Yeah, seems like our club's been taken hostage by Jared Wade, doesn't it? A little bit.
So yeah, in certain areas for sure.
I even think and maybe this would have been a bit risky, but I actually think Jordan Degoi should have played against Richmond last week. Me personally, I think they would have done him good.
Did you like? Are you saying that because you would have from there you would have thought, okay, he plays against Richmond and then he plays a full game tonight, or
exactly?
Or you think he didn't play well tonight? The former?
No. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking he plays maybe he plays half a game last week in the AFL and then plays a full game this week. That's what I was thinking. I think that would have been better.
I don't think I can see what you're saying. I don't think we've messed up that player. I think we've look. I will say when I saw him subbed out tonight, Benny checked his AFL app and it initially said
injured.
Oh
yeah.
Fuck, my heart.
Same. Same.
What were the commentators saying? Were you watching it or were you at the game as well?
I was at the game, but I was lucky. I had a guy sitting in front of me who had earphones on. He must have been listening to it. And he turned to me and he goes, no, he's not injured. He's just been subbed.
Mate.
And I was like, oh, thank God.
That would have been depressing.
Oh, it was. It was. I'm not gonna talk about Charlie Dean because enough's been said about him. I'll give him a break. Did you feel like just the team just across the board was just step off?
Oh yeah.
Like even further up the ground, like even like every contest it was like there was just like 5 Brisbane players to like 2 or 3 Collingwood players, and it's just like that happens because they're working harder.
Mate, we got slapped. We got slapped. They I feel like while we were 60 touches below our average for the year, 290 disposals, typical for the game is 350. When we did have the ball, when we did try to move it fast, we were half a smidge off with our decision making. They strangled us. We were inefficient tonight going inside 50, which is been an on and off trend. They were pretty good going inside 50. They were accurate inside when they had shots on goals. Were we off? Yeah, I was just and I said to Ben earlier at the game, I felt like our 1% efforts, like with those knock-ons, the chaos footy, right? Whenever we tried that as well, it didn't result in anything, which is unusual because normally those things are some part important to the fabric of the Collingwood Football Club. But for Brisbane, when they had their 1%ers, it certainly went their way and more.
Yeah, it seems like with those 1%ers, with those like with our form, it seems like usually at some point it clicks for us. Like we might have like a bad quarter or a bad half, but then we just suddenly it just clicks and we just take a bit of control. But it just didn't. It's like we just didn't fire up today. Which we're just like stuck in gear, It just never happened.
Well, there wasn't a quarter that we didn't own one single quarter. I mean, we kicked 5 goals to 2 in a second, but they still managed to kick their 2 goals to stay in touch. They kicked 2 goals to keep in front. Yeah,
that was disappointing, especially that late goal that they kicked in that second quarter. I was just like, you did all that work. Because that gives you a bit of a mental edge going in with the lead and going into halftime behind. They would have gone into halftime thinking, all right, we got beaten that quarter, but we're still in front. Yeah, it's not good. I think part of it could be injuries, obviously, but also resting players, and it's it's throwing off our team a bit. I think overall. I don't know. I hope we can. I wasn't too worried before this game because like our losses against Freo and Gold Coast were close. We could have easily have won those games, but I'm starting to get a bit concerned now because we got slapped. Yeah, like I said, we got slapped in this game. Probably the margin probably flattered us a bit in the end, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is we are one win, 3 losses in our last 4. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, you know what? It's like, I shit. You know, it's almost like we're playing a grand final next week because 1 and 4 does not have a good tune going into the last couple rounds of the season. That's for sure.
No, we need a win next week. It kind of this game kind of reminds me of that Hawthorn game last year. Remember, we were going into that game with a couple of losses and we needed to win.
That game. No, I've erased that game from my mind, bro.
All right.
I got the Men in Black to come to my house after that game and do the flash.
Yeah, good idea. That's a good idea. We'll leave it at that. Look, Hawthorn, to be fair, Hawthorn aren't travelling that great themselves. So we got to go out and just, if we truly are a top 4 team, we got to go out there and beat them. You know?
It's pretty simple, bro, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, man, I think Fly's gonna lose some fans. I think if he doesn't pull a rabbit out of the hat, because I think he's gonna get a bit of the blame.
Yeah, I will be listening to. I'm tired, but I will be listening to the Fly McRae press conference when I close this stream. I feel like Fly's been pretty good with his press conferences before and after games this year. It sounds like he took a bit more of a passive approach tonight. So I'm keen to hear what he said.
Yeah, it sounded like judging from what that last guy said, sounded like he just kind of took the passive approach, like you said, which I don't know. I think maybe he's got to show a bit more than that.
Yeah. All right, Absy, I've got to keep it rolling, my friend. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Anytime, mate. Cheers.
Appreciate you. See you, mate.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Nick.
Oh, hi.
You still finding your way home?
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Nick. I'll be brutally honest, brother. Sorry, Nick. Nick, I'm sorry, mate. What you can do is, how about this? I'll meet you halfway, Nick. Mick Sucker's gonna do a post-game show. Jump on that one. Here we go.
What's going on?
Yassel, mate. I like the overlay in the background. The green.
You like it? I'm moving up in the world.
Opa.
I haven't seen it, but Fly's presser apparently it's absolute fucking depressing. And he looked miserable during the game as well. Every time the camera went on him, it looked like he was grieving someone dying. And don't blame him looking at the way we played. But I'll tell you what, man, look, I've been around for a long time, man, and I've seen us go through so much shit. And as 2 years ago, man, it was a similar position. Yeah, we were fucking in shit form leading up to the finals. And I just reckon with if we can get Jeremy Howe, Frampton, and Moore in the backline, come finals time. Schultz, McCreary, and Hill buzzing around at half forward. If we can get that happening, come first final, I reckon we'll be in good stead. Because when the finals start, it's a clean slate, man. We just got to get that top 4 position. I don't care if we have to go to Adelaide or Brisbane. we'll be up for it. And I've seen us do it before. You know, you just got to look at today's game. Like, we've had Gold Coast, Freo, and Brisbane come out with pressure ratings off the charts against us. And this is while, you know, Jared Wade's been putting them through these high training loads. And I reckon hopefully come next week we'll be, you know, we'll see like a different energy from us. What do you reckon, mate?
I certainly hope. Look, I think there is some element to when you come up against a team that has been a number one pressure side over the last 3 seasons. I think those teams that come up against you try and match that, and that is a blueprint for a top 4 side. So yeah, it is what like that's going to be the reality of playing coming up against these sides.
And come finals time, these teams that have been putting this pressure rating up against us, they've got to repeat that again come finals time. And our group, like the majority of our group, has done it before. They know what to do. Internally, they're going to get a nice talking to, and I'm quietly confident that come finals time, we're going to be up and about, and we'll give it a shake. Just one thing, like I'm not going to start bagging poor Charlie Dean. Everyone's bagged him enough. Dan Houston. Okay, this is the Dan Houston conundrum that we've got here. It's like we recruited this guy, yeah? And at Port, he was the main guy. They used to always handball to him. I wonder if that was his role in the preseason. And then when he had that, remember, he had a couple of weeks off for suspension or something early in the year, and it seems like Josh took over that role, and Josh was so good in that role, we just left Josh there, and Houston was kind of kept to the side. And it just seems like Houston's always just been, you know, like a cardboard cutout type guy, just hanging around in defence while Josh has been doing all the work, you know. Because he's such a highly prized player that's been doing it for years. It's just surprising that we have not utilised him in the role that he does best, and just put Josh in the midfield from the start of the year, you know. Yeah.
It is a conundrum. It's certainly a conundrum that is growing in strength against Houston, but as I said earlier, I think we just have to stick with Dan Houston for the remainder of the season, and we can reassess at the end of it because it's all we have at the moment. Mick, can you just while we're here, can you send me the link of your YouTube channel via Discord or something? Because I want to put it in the chat as well.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat earlier. I'll put it in the chat earlier. I'll put it in right now as we speak, and I'll put it in the Discord once I get off.
Yeah, the link.
Oh, I haven't established the stream yet. I'll do it as soon as I get off. When I do that,
the link for your channel though.
Okay. So the one that I've just put in right now. Can you see that? I just put it on right
now. So I think what happens is because you're not the host of the show, when a link goes in the chat, it actually gets censored.
Okay. All right.
So send it to me on that link you've just put in. Send it to me in Discord now, and I'll repost it right now.
Yep. All right.
And
1 sec.
Put it in the group. Put it in the group.
Yep.
The group Pies Footy chat so everyone else can see as well. Nato, all right, let me copy that. Copy link. Hopefully that should work if I put it here.
It's a fucking head fuck, man. YouTube channels.
Yeah. It is, mate. But yeah, once you have all your ducks in a row, you'll be right. Hey, go. I'm gonna give you 5-10
Yep.
minutes. Go set up your stream so that people can seamlessly once
Yep.
I clock off, they can go straight away to you.
Yeah.
So have it going straight away. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to talk to the other people? Yep. All right.
I'm just going to talk to the chat in about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to end and they can go over to you.
No worries, pal. Okay.
Right.
Thanks very much. Catch up.
All right. So while I wait for Mick to get his post game show to get going, what else do we want to talk about before we conclude here? So let's have a look at this. Let's do a quick ladder predictor to see where we're at with that loss tonight. Share screen. All right. So after tonight, Brisbane beat us, yeah? Like we have to beat Brisbane. I'm just saying, did this register? Did this Brisbane one register? Yeah, it does. Okay. So if we beat Hawthorn, we got 18-5. Say we lose against Adelaide, hypothetically, and then we beat Melbourne. We finish second, but I think I've done something with Geelong. I think I gave Sydney the win against Geelong, which is, let's say Geelong is more likely. But look at this. This is the difference between Geelong losing and winning against Sydney. Look at that. So if we go 2-2, so if we beat Hawthorn and Melbourne, we will most likely finish third. Look at the teams around us, guys. Like their next 3 or 4 games are pretty easy, generally speaking. So we could be looking at this. If Sydney win at the SCG, we could be looking at this. I don't want to do this because I'm going to do it. All right. But also, if we go 1-3, that's what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at if we go 1-3. Staring down a barrel of an elimination final. That's how quickly this season can go down south for us. I'm not gonna talk about Geelong's season in 2023, am I? Was it 24? So 24. Let's actually, you know what? It is pertinent because it is pertinent, like the Geelong of last year, because we're in a similar position now, aren't we? Same age bracket, coming off. So they win the flag in 22. They don't play finals in 23. 24, they make the finals. We win the flag in 23. We don't make finals 24. We're beckoned for finals this season. So, and that's exactly what Geelong have done with a similar age bracket demographic. So we go back to what? If we go all the way back to round 8, yeah, Geelong are absolutely flying. Absolutely flying. It's quite eerily similar how, but I feel like from that point onwards, Geelong crashed out. Yeah, they crashed out. So their crash out in the mid-season, we didn't experience that. But what they did from here on out, what they do in their last few games. So they're okay, so they're 3-2 there. Yeah, so by the end of the season, they're finished in 3rd position. And they make a prelim final, didn't they? Did they make the prelim final? Yeah. So very similar positions. I'm not trying to draw anything from this. I just find it fascinating that the timeline of Geelong is I feel like we're a year behind where Geelong, or where we are where Geelong were in 24 now, except we're probably a little bit better off. Fair? Yeah. Brisbane. Yeah. What Brisbane did last year is nothing short of a miracle. Better than what the Doggies achieved in 2016, in my opinion. That's my opinion. What are we saying about that? Yeah, prelim. The dream is over, Carmel Slice says. What dream is over? You think the quest for the flag is over? We can't miss the finals. It's impossible. Good. Freo won't finish third, says Harry. Well, let's dissect that. Why are you saying that? Don't Freo have an easy run? Let's have a look. Freo. So Freo will beat Carlton, yeah? They'll beat Carlton. Fair. No Adam Chera, no Charlie Curnow. Fair. They should beat Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide a rabble this year. That's fair. Fremantle could lose to Brisbane. Okay. Who have they got in the final round? And they could lose to Western Bulldogs. I understand. So maybe we'll change this permutation. Where is it? Oh, wow. That's yeah, but still. That's that. Degoi's back. Everyone calm the farm. It was good to see Degoi. From what I saw at the ground, he looked good. Good enough. He looked good enough. We have VFL quality at best, but deserve to be in a local footy league. What are you smoking, Peter? You all right, mate? You good? Yeah, the draw that Geelong have, unbelievable, eh, David? North and West Coast in their last 4 games. And yeah. Matty, yeah, mate. From a personnel standpoint, having Howe, Frampton, and McCreary, hopefully all back by the time we get to Adelaide, or at least certainly Howe and Frampton, we'd hoped to think that they'll be available for the game on Thursday. I know, yeah. Howie, he hasn't had a massive training load. When he trained on Wednesday, it was very much going through the motions. So I'm hoping this weekend he's had an opportunity to actually really go through the conditioning boxes and tick them off with flying colors this weekend. Let me see if Michali is live. 1 second. See if he's live, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe to him, by the way, if you guys want to continue the conversation. We will do that. We'll be doing that. He's live, guys. So I'll put the link in the YouTube chat right now. I'm going to head over there. So here is the link. I'm going to give you a direct link to the live stream to go say g'day to Mick and jump on his post game, guys. Share your thoughts. Here you go. Just stick with me for a sec. I'll put it in now if you guys want to have a listen. Why is it saying it's not live? Here we go. Comments. Hey, thanks, Woody, mate. You know, that's footy, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, eh? All right. There's a link, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And yeah, must win on Thursday. And we'll start there and we'll start tomorrow. And the week repeats and it's only 5 days away. So we'll have time to vindicate ourselves very soon, very, very shortly. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Pies.